This is red. This is green. This is blue. But how can you tell that what you're seeing as blue is the exact same thing as what I see as blue? We've named these colors to give us a way to communicate and reference them, but in reality there's no way of knowing what you see. Look at a strawberry. What color is it? Red, obviously. Everyone knows strawberries are red, except they're not. Strawberries don't have a color. Nothing does. Color doesn't exist in the world. It exists entirely in your head. Your brain is creating the experience of red and projecting it onto reality. The feeling of this chair you're sitting on,
The sound of my voice.
the sense that there's a you experiencing all of this right now, none of it is what you think it is. You've been hallucinating your entire life. We all have. And the strangest part? Your brain is so good at this hallucination that you've never noticed it's happening. Here's what's actually happening right now as you watch this. Light waves are bouncing off your screen and hitting your eyeball, but those waves aren't bright or colorful. They're just electromagnetic radiation with different frequencies. Some waves are 650 nanometers long, others are 450 nanometers. That's it. Just numbers. Your eye captures some of these waves and converts them into electrical signals. Your brain receives these signals and makes a decision. I'll call the 650 nanometer waves red and the 450 nanometer waves blue. But here's the thing. There's nothing inherently red about 650 nanometer light. Your brain could have just as easily decided to call it blue or purple, or invented an entirely new color that doesn't exist. In fact, some people's brains do exactly that. People with different types of color vision see strawberries as brown or gray, or colors that don't even have names. Whose version is correct? None of them. They're all hallucinations. And color is just the beginning. Sound doesn't exist either. Right now, my vocal cords are vibrating, pushing air molecules back and forth at about 200 cycles per second. But those vibrations aren't sound, they're just moving air. Your eardrum captures these vibrations, and your brain translates them into the experience of hearing my voice. The sound happens entirely inside your head. Touch, taste, smell, same story. Your brain is taking raw physical data and creating a rich, detailed experience that feels absolutely real. But it gets stranger. Your brain doesn't just hallucinate your senses, it hallucinates time. Everything you're experiencing right now already happened about 80 milliseconds ago. That's how long it takes your brain to process sensory information and create your conscious experience of now. You're living in the past, experiencing a delayed reconstruction of reality and calling it the present moment. Remember when I said there's a you experiencing all of this? That might be the biggest hallucination of all. Neuroscientists at MIT have been studying something called the predictive brain. They've discovered that your sense of being a unified, continuous person experiencing the world is, well, it's a story your brain tells itself. Every moment, your brain is receiving millions of sensory inputs, memory fragments, thoughts, and emotions. It takes all of this chaos and creates a coherent narrative. I am a person sitting here having this experience. But there's no central you controlling this process. It's more like a movie that's being written, directed, and edited by your brain in real time, and then shown to itself. Dr. Anil Seth at the University of Sussex calls this controlled hallucination. Your brain is essentially creating a virtual reality experience, so convincing that you've never questioned whether it's real. But here's what's truly mind-bending. This hallucination includes the hallucination of the person having the hallucination. Sometimes the system breaks down, and we get to see behind the curtain. You know those optical illusions where lines appear to be different lengths but they are actually the same? Those aren't party tricks. They're your brain getting caught in the act of constructing reality. People who suffer stroke sometimes develop a condition called blindsight. They lose conscious vision and part of their visual field, but they can still react to objects they swear they can't see. Their brain is processing the visual information, but not including it in the conscious hallucination. There's another condition called Charles Bonnet syndrome, where people with damaged vision start seeing things that aren't there. Elaborate hallucinations of people, animals, entire scenes playing out in front of them. But here's the strange part. They know the hallucinations aren't real. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If your brain can create convincing visual experiences of things that don't exist, how do you know your normal vision is any different? You can't, because the brain creates all visual experiences. The feeling of a hallucination is just as real to the person experiencing it as a normal sight is. The key difference lies in whether the perception is triggered by an external stimulus or not. So what does this mean for how you live your life? First, it means everyone else is hallucinating too. That person who sees the world completely differently from you, they're not wrong. They're just running different brain software, creating a different version of reality. It means arguments about whose perception of reality is correct are missing the point. We're all creating our own personal movies and getting upset when someone else's movie doesn't match ours. But it also means something stranger. If your brain can construct the experience of color from wavelengths and sounds from vibrations, and even construct the you that's having this experience, what else is it making up? That feeling that your life has some grand purpose, that might be another hallucination. That sense that the universe cares about what you do, probably constructed too. But here's the thing. Knowing it's a hallucination doesn't make it less real to you. Your brain is going to keep creating these experiences whether the universe meant for them to exist or not. And maybe that's actually pretty amazing. You're not discovering meaning. You're creating it. You're not finding purpose. You're building it from scratch with a 3-pound lump of tissue that somehow figured out how to turn electromagnetic waves into the experience of a sunset. That's either the most depressing thing ever or the most incredible creative project in the known universe. Right now, your brain is working incredibly hard to create the experience you're having. It's taking electromagnetic waves and turning them into the colors and shapes on your screen. It's taking air vibrations and turning them into the sound of my voice. It's taking all of this sensory chaos and creating a coherent story about a person watching a video about hallucination. You could choose to see this as depressing. Nothing is real, everything is constructed, you can't trust your own experience. Or you could see it as the most beautiful thing imaginable. Your brain, this 3-pound lump of tissue, is creating entire worlds moment by moment. It's turning physics into poetry, chemistry into consciousness, and data into dreams. Every color you've ever loved, every song that's moved you, every face that's made you smile, none of it exists out there in the world. It all exists in the space between your ears, created fresh every moment by the most sophisticated reality generation system in the known universe. You're not just experiencing reality, you're creating it. And maybe that makes this hallucination we call life not less real, but more real than we ever imagined. The strawberry is still red. The sunset is still beautiful. The person you love still makes your heart race. Your brain makes it so. And perhaps that's the most incredible magic trick of all.